I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls. The disease, and I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent.
There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I am one of many hosts tonight, Charlie. With me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
I am regular human podcaster tonight.
Perfect. And what was supposed to be the inaugural appearance of Pete when we first talked about this movie to show up on the action side, yet he has already been on. We've kind of got his feet wet. Pete from Good Beer Bad Movie Night.
I snuck in on Ong Bak because
you did.
Why couldn't I? Had to get on Ong Bak, man. Oh, that was so much fun. Yeah, I just finished the episode today. That was a good time.
And we had a blast. But
really
I
was.
still get an inauguration into the action side of the podcast.
Boy.
We have one more special guest. We have Drug Troy over from Good Beer Bad Movie Night. Say hello, Troy.
Inaugurate me.
He has been inaugurated.
Find a glass and break it.
Take off your pants.
Smash.
Opa! It's a full house here at Give Me Back My Action Movies, and for good reason. We are digging into a 3D classic? Question mark?
It is
Sure.
3D and it is a movie.
It is 3D. And
Quite
it is,
possibly the
vintage.
long...
It might be a movie. It could be the longest movie we have ever covered.
It has the longest title we've ever covered.
That's true. That's true.
Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared-Syn. Dun, dun, dun. I should have had that soundbite ready to go. Oh, and the reason this was supposed to be such a big deal is I didn't pick this movie. Nate
Who
didn't
did?
pick this movie.
No, I didn't. I've never even heard of this movie. Don't throw this on me.
I said you didn't. Listen.
Oh,
it's
okay.
fine.
I thought you
Wait
said
for
I did. I was like, bullshit. Bullshit,
No, no.
Don't do this to
bullshit,
me.
bullshit.
it. Put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby. Nope. Someone else brought
Who
this
was
onto
it?
the show, and I was all for it. But you wanna voice who it was?
None
I
of
don't
us know.
Pete.
It was me?
You did. You did.
Bullshit.
Pete.
No, it wasn't. Was it really?
Yes,
You did this
it was
to us?
you.
You did this, Pete?
Oh,
Because the whole time we
I
were
was
over
drunk.
at your house,
It was
you
dark.
were like, who picked this?
it's true.
Oh no. This
I
was
thought that
way-
this was Kathleen's revenge against us or something.
This happened, I want to say in June-ish, that Pete sent a link into our chat going, Charlie, have you ever seen this? And he sends a clip of Metalstorm. And I look it up and I go, it is so familiar, but I don't remember it. And we both immediately looked it up on Amazon. And I was like, dude, it's like $15 and it's in 3D. So Pete goes on quest to find a 3D TV to
Oh,
get
that's
this
right.
movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's when
And
I contacted Troy because we had an opportunity, maybe.
Yeah. So
This
you wrote Troy
is
into this.
Pete's doing?
This is
No.
Pete.
Oh
I
no!
thought you all
Son of a bitch.
remembered this.
Oh no! Nope, I don't remember
I
that. It was dark. I was drunk.
that
I-
checks out.
This movie showed up at my doorstep a week after, and I have agonizingly stared at it till this week so I could watch it because I didn't want to like pre-watch it. I wanted to be fresh for it. I have hyped this movie so much.
Well, it's
in my
because if
mind.
you would have watched it, then you would have never
Oh.
wanted to watch it again for the
Uh-huh.
episode 4 months
no.
later.
That's
Oh,
what you
no.
think.
'Cause,
Yeah, we're not there yet.
With Nate and Charlie, I don't know, Troy, if you know this, but with Nate and Charlie, the movies I've picked so far, I'm 50-50. So Charlie didn't like Thirst. Nate and I love Thirst. And I like, what was it, Slither?
Slugs.
Slugs, right. And Nate hated Slugs and Charlie loved Slugs. So I'm
I loved it.
50-50 so far picking films. And if this is my fault, then I apologize to all three of you.
Pete's actually gonna not like one of his own selections.
Oh no! Well, I hadn't seen it either. It was one of those stupid things that I don't remember. I throw so much.
You get drunk
crap.
and you get on IMDb and you do this shit to us.
Yeah, it's true. Like I'll get on
Most
YouTube
of the
and
time,
I'll go
you
down
drag
a rabbit
yourself
hole.
through it.
Yeah.
Hoisted by your own petard. It
He
was
said
what David would say
Picard.
if he was here.
I don't.
Right.
I need to set the scene because I went over to Pete's because I went, oh, it's no longer on Tubi. It's not on YouTube.
Oh gosh.
Thankfully, we have a
It
buddy
was
with Plex
nowhere.
that can, upload onto the server.
It was
So I
on
went
Tubi
over
when
to
we
Pete,
scheduled this.
I drank his beer. I ate his food. And then I had to suffer with him and Troy on Pete's birthday.
on my actual birthday.
Who
Okay.
humbly
The
didn't
day of
let
my
me know
birth.
it was his birthday till Troy came over with a 6-pack and said, "Happy birthday, Pete."
It's not.
Oh,
it's not
so
a
I'm
thing.
not alone in not knowing it was your birthday Monday.
It's not.
because
it's not a thing.
I start.
I've had a lot
I
of
get
them.
it. I'm actively trying to forget how old I am, like trying to forget the number itself, because I think that would be really cool. Like,
But
people would ask you, "How old are you?" You'd be like, "I don't know. I
Ah.
quit doing the math."
No, but like
Okay.
Tuesday rolls around because we're friends on Facebook. I start seeing people like wishing Pete happy birthday and happy belated birthday. And I'm like, this son of a bitch. Like, we literally just did Nate's birthday movie for September, and Pete's just over there twiddling his damn
Yeah,
thumbs.
he could have had a birthday pick.
When
This
you
is
get to a
his
certain
birthday
He
age,
did.
Period.
You did this to me on my birthday month.
I've had a lot of great birthdays, and it just doesn't matter anymore.
Oh,
Next year's going to be a big one, though.
we are hot out of the gate, boys. I love this. I love that you guys thought this was possibly Charlie's fault.
The whole time I was like, "Why did Charlie pick this?"
Nate kept saying, like, we're going to find out that he watches this like 3 times a year. And,
Right.
like, he's got, like, a whole system, religion around it. I know there is.
He watches the TV
He's
cut,
got the bootleg
director's
toys
cut.
from Mexico or something.
Yeah.
The Jared-Syn doll with the inflatable lips.
Right.
Ooh.
Like all those
Where's
Jared-Syn
my
toupee.
action figures? I need action figures
Mm.
now.
I just want the cars, the stupid cars, and the guy with the
Oh, the go-karts?
the claw. I want that guy and the cars. Those are the toys that I want. The guy that spews acid from his claw and the top heavy car.
At least it came from his claw. Well, I say,
Hey man, ooh, thankfully it came from his claw.
it did get on the floor though. Anyway, let's get into
Yeah.
playing.
Yes, it did.
Let's set the mood now. Let's get this trailer going.
There's a trailer for
There's
this.
a trailer
With words.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I have a feeling you should have watched the trailer before you watched the movie.
I never watched trailers. I hate trailers.
I think this is the one time you should have.
Okay,
So,
okay. Let's
Here we go.
Give me-
Metalstorm trailer.
In a future that grows ever closer, the fate of our Earth will lie in the hands of one man, a solitary warrior of great courage. His name is Dogen, and he is called the Finder. His enemies will emerge from the underworld to test his strength. Urok, the Cyclopean warlord of the One Eyes, the assassin Baal, half man, half machine, and Jared-Syn, leader and mastermind of the sinister renegades. They will utilize their cruelest weapons. They will exploit their most mysterious powers. As they create an epic non-stop action-adventure movie that will challenge your senses. And they will do all this for you in 3D. This summer. Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared-Syn in 3D.
There,
How mu- Go ahead.
there is a lost art on trailers these days, folks.
Yeah.
Not only do we no longer have the voices of trailers, but this kind of writing is amazing. And trailers today, just like, we're going to show you clips from the movie. Yeah, we're done. This is a track mode on video games, right? When you walk into the arcade, this is a track.
Oh, yeah.
mode. Come
Yeah.
watch my stupid ass movie. And this is what these trailers were back in the day. Oh, I so miss these kind of trailers. But I also think that these trailers never gave a lot of shit away. They just kind of
Well, it's
like
because in this movie they didn't know what to give away.
that's true.
Yeah, but what this trailer does is give you backstory that's not in the movie.
You know what? This trailer also just reminded me. We forgot to introduce ourselves with our class like they do in the damn movie.
Oh my god, yes.
So I'd be Nate, party class, level 7.
I'm bald, so I'm going Cyclopean. I hope Pete goes Cyclopean.
I was going midget barbarian level
Midget
2
Barbarian.
with a +2 beer armor.
right.
Plus-
Aluminum armor plus 2.
we're
yes.
doing like Dungeons and Dragon classes.
Well,
I was
yeah,
trying to
'cause that's
stick
what they-
with
The
the
one guy's
movie.
like, I'm a ranger class or some shit
He's a
like that.
Ranger fighting class. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
yeah, that's the very beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah, but he's also a seeker, so
But he's also a fighter.
yeah, he's a fighter.
They use the
warrior
word
of
seeker,
great
and they
courage.
never elaborate on why he's a seeker, or what a seeker is,
Bounty
and
hunter.
that's the entire whatever. Was he a bounty hunter?
Sure.
He
Bounty hunter.
finds things, Pete.
Right.
Like David
No,
Bowie's
he-
codpiece.
Yeah, he
Yes.
does find David
Good job,
Bowie's
good job,
codpiece.
Troy.
He certainly does, doesn't he?
Troy's main job tonight is just to keep bringing up David Bowie's codpiece.
Oh,
The entire
that's my
Oh,
job all the time.
don't
I'm
worry.
good at that.
In his notes, he just kept drawing
want
cod
that job.
pieces.
I don't know what you.
He
this
took
guy-
notes for all three of us.
Every time this guy was sent on a
Oh.
mission, he found it. Therefore, seeker. He found what he looked for. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't-
Sure.
Why am I going to be the one defending a movie I didn't pick? This is going to be some bullshit.
I have never seen this movie.
Look.
I picked it on. I don't know. I don't remember why I picked it.
I choose to live in a reality
I
where
think
I
it was
believe what
3D.
I believe, and I believe that you picked it, so that's the reality I'm living in.
Fair.
Look,
Okay,
Carly, if
I-
it's your favorite movie, you don't have to be so defensive about it. It's cool.
Part of my basement is dedicated to Metalstorm, the something of Jared.
Yeah,
whatever.
you actually have the cod piece right there
I
next
do.
to the TV.
I do. I have the actual prop, and I use it
Yeah.
when I go to bed, and it doesn't fool Jody at all.
I have the 2D and the 3D version.
I-
I don't. You guys keep making fun of stuff. And I'm
No,
just
that's
like,
I got that from the library, and then Troy says, "Oh, I lost my I lost my 3D TV dealer, and
My
we couldn't
hookup
go
was-
watch it because
Why did you have to go and burn that bridge?
I know.
Troy, you had one job.
I'm gonna go get a 3D TV and DVD player just for this movie because it's
How
the
much does a
only.
3D TV run?
I
these
have
days?
no idea, but I was
had
like,
no idea.
I have a mission. I seek a 3D TV and DVD
Just to see
player.
these, like, okay, so the early '80s. The, Nate might not remember the early '80s. You were awful young.
No,
I'm forgetting my age.
I
right
know
now,
Troy and
so-
I remember the early '80s. Charlie, you're a
Whatever.
little sketch, right? Yeah. Okay.
I was born in '80.
Okay. So
already-
clearly, '83 was not something you remember quite well.
Not a lot. no.
But I remember seeing Jaws 3D in the theater, and it was bad. Even at that point in my life, at 10 years old, I was like, this is bad. But I got to see all these stupid things flying at me, and we got that in this movie.
Yeah.
All the time, and in the theaters. I hope some listeners can help me with this. But I don't ever remember anything in the actual commercial theaters at the time in the early 80s that weren't anything but the red and blue glasses. They didn't have the polarized. For whatever reason, they got away from the polarized stuff from like when Creature from the Black Lagoon came out. That
Mhm.
was a polarized lens. So you saw black and white 3D coming straight at you, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But after a while, they went to the blue and red, and I don't know. It was probably a cheaper thing to do. That's my
It was.
guess. And that's what we got in the 80s, like the Friday the 13th Part 3 and Jaws.
Well, that's what
3D,
everyone
3DS, all
attributes to 3D now.
all
is-
of these, right? All
Yeah.
those that you saw in the theater at that time were the red and the blue. However, I'm pretty sure that if we had watched this Blu-ray in 3D, we would have had polarized lenses and had
yeah.
legit three-dimensional.
I
pictures.
think it was probably fixed for it. So, let me read the back of the DVD first because
Did I step on your toes? I apologize.
No.
Please read your
I
DVD,
love
yeah.
how we do this, and what you just said. I have some context
Ooh,
to what
excellent.
you brought up. So
I
allow
need closure.
me to regale you
Bring it.
with this back of the DVD. Metalstorm, the Destruction of Jared-Syn, is a science fiction battle of the ages with giant cyclopeans and an intergalactic magician in his futuristic adventure set on the desert planet of Lemura. Wait, didn't the trailer just say it was Earth? Whatever. A miner and his daughter, Dana, fall prey to the evil dictator Jared-Syn's reign of terror. Dojin, the brave peacekeeping ranger, must save Dana from the rest of her planet from the brutality of Jared-Syn, his son Fall, and the hideous Cyclopean warlord Hurok. If Doja does not find Dinah in time, she will be sacrificed to Jared-Syn's strange life-giving crystal. Take a space-age journey into the furthest reaches of imagination with dazzling special effects and a story that will excite fantasy fans of all ages.
Now, I would like to do a
Mm.
callback
Go ahead, call back.
to an earlier bit we used to do.
Oh, we did?
But instead of 3 sentences, I would like to do a 2-sentence synopsis, if I may.
Please do regale me.
Sure,
I
sure.
can't wait.
Only 2 sentences, though.
That was one.
Pete and Troy, you may join in on the second sentence if you would like. Are we ready, boys?
I'm ready.
I have no idea.
I got you.
What the hell is going on?
We
will never know.
I felt like something was choreographed and
I forgot all about
completely
that.
failed. Is that why Nate wanted me to pull up a drop and then he had a drop already ready in lieu
Oh,
of
don't
the
worry.
drop?
What we're going to do is, audience at home, you can play along where every time that we say, what the hell is going on, you can shout at your cubicle, we will never know. Our coordination is fantastic, fellas.
It became a theme. As
Yeah,
the-
it was a
the
running
movie
theme
played
on
at Pete's.
Pete's birthday night
That's right.
of not knowing what was going on.
I had a few drinks. I don't remember all of this.
Pete did.
This is
his
as good
birthday.
as the Nana bit on your latest episode.
Oh,
of Your Bad
wasn't
Movie
it though?
Night. I loved it. Oh, okay. Are we good now?
Oh, we
surprising-
have been good.
Charlie, why don't you start the show?
are we- I haven't even started recording yet. Ha ha! Joke's on all you.
Oh no, it looks like you haven't started recording.
I
Good
did.
for you.
I
That's
hit
always
the
a little
button.
sketch. I should have asked you before we started.
I knew there was no way we were going to put this genie back in the bottle, so I had to hit that really quick. No, you brought up something that I was going to bring up later. So, you guys really missed out not watching the making of Metalstorm, the Destruction of Jared-Syn.
Really?
Oh my God, guys! Oh my God, your whole little trio chant don't mean shit once Charlie starts laying some knowledge on you guys.
What was it? Charles Band also going, what the hell is going on? We will never know.
Yes. As many know, Charles Band jumped into the 3D world with the movie Parasite. And while it's a horrible movie, it was been remembered because of how well the 3D worked on it. You know, the creature jumping at you from the screen. It was definitely like an Alien kind of knockoff type deal. But people loved it. And he immediately wanted to do another one, and he wanted to do an epic. Someone bought a poster at a comic shop that was a hot rod in the desert jumping in the air. That's all. They don't even have a picture of what the hot rod was. Just notes that said hot rod, in air, desert. And Charles Band goes, I'm going to make that a movie.
That's so very Roger Corman of him.
Bet.
Yeah. So he went
William
and
Castle, yeah.
they wrote up a couple of quick things basically on napkins and whatever they had around them. And Charles Band went and sold this movie immediately. He canoned this thing before canon was canoning things, I guess. Maybe right around the same time. Maybe
that's pretty close. 83, yeah.
I think it's right at
prime
the beginning
canon times, yeah.
So all of a sudden they got money and they're ready to start production, and they do. About 3 weeks in, they stop production. Charles Band leaves on a meeting. Not that he left production; it was so bad.
Right.
There was a bunch of theaters redoing all of their cinema stuff for Jaws 3D. Like, it was this huge thing where they had to get new cameras. They were getting the system set up to play 3D movies. They thought it was going to be the next huge thing.
Sure.
Like Jaws 3D was going to destroy. Okay, before it came out, they realized this is a lot of money to devote to one movie. We need another one. So Charles Band had a meeting with the company that would eventually buy this, and they were like, can you do a 3D movie? And he goes, just so happens we're working on a movie that we have thought about doing in 3D. Okay, I want to see something. He's like, we just started. He goes, I don't care, just give me something. So Charles Band goes back, makes a 10-minute clip, sends it to the guy. They bought it immediately and then go, you got 3 weeks to finish. So
It all makes sense now.
It all is adding up.
It really does.
So they had to hurry things along, and quite possibly one of the most hilarious things in the making of it, I'm not done with it, I will finish it, was during this conversation, one of the guys went, yeah, so we didn't have a lot of time. Doesn't explain all of the driving sequences that are in this movie. But we didn't have any time. And I was just like, you guys know what you did. And now no one is disillusioned about what this movie is. They all go, there's no story. It doesn't make any sense. But if you look past the story, this is a fantastic movie. No, I'm serious. This is like Ong Bak, where the movie didn't make any sense, but now I'm paying attention to the makeup, the characters, the actual acting. I love Tim Thomerson in this movie. He is just this perfect, wisecracking, westerny kind of guy, and it's awesome.
Was that fake Sam Elliott?
Fake Sam Elliott.
Okay.
Yeah. He's also he goes on later to be like
Ford wannabe.
the Doll Man, Trancer.
He's Doll Man, yeah.
He continues his career basically with Charles Band.
Mm-hmm.
So they really hit it off. And they make no illusions of, so you guys made a Mad Max ripoff, and they go, yeah, we did. Did you see the main character? Yeah, we made a Mad Max ripoff. Did you see the cars? It's Mad Max.
For sure.
With sci-fi. And
It's
that's what
Star Wars with Mad Max thrown in a blender with no story.
And some crystals for some reason.
Some crystals, David Bowie's codpiece. There's a tree branch in 3D for a solid 10 seconds. If you were to watch this movie at 2 times the speed, the movie would probably equate to about 4 hours long instead of the 8 hours that we spent
I hate
in
to tell you,
Pete's dungeon.
this
It's
movie's
only
only like an hour and 20
88
something.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
feel that
you'll never
way.
convince me of that.
No.
It was. I thought Nate and Troy were in my basement for like 3 days watching
there's
this movie.
a lot of seductive staring with no dialogue.
There's a lot of scenes with no dialogue. I mean, not just
Yeah.
car chasing, just like
Yeah.
staring.
So
There's that great scene where they just slowly pan in on Jared-Syn sitting by the fire, and we just all sat there waiting for him to do something, and then Nate starts laughing, and then Pete cracks up, and then like we're all laughing for another 5 seconds before that shot is over. It was amazing.
it did its job. I don't know what y'all are complaining about. This is
Yeah.
It clearly entertained us, but
For
what?
all the wrong reasons.
Oh,
So I want to fix something that Nate brought up. No, this is what I am defending the movie I didn't pick. All right, just let me do what I got to do
I
here.
feel like you did. You're the one that bought it.
Ah,
Damn right I bought it, and
Good for
I don't regret buying it. I
I-
will say that right now. So whenever you make a 3D movie, to do the 3D effect, you have to stay on that object and almost like run it into the camera, because the longer it is in frame is how much further it feels like it reaches out to the audience. So the tree branch, they literally point that out, going, we needed to add stuff because they're just driving. So there's a tree branch. It's coming right at you. And they know what they did. So I think that's the biggest thing to take away. There's no disillusion that they thought they were going to be the next Star Wars. Although Charles Band fully intended on making this
he wanted
an
a-
epic,
yeah.
another 2
Mhm.
movies. And why not? So there's some things. Why am I the only one really going at this? This is so weird.
You're the only one that seems to understand what the movie was about. All I know is there was a king that they didn't vote for,
Pretty much.
who
That is.
I think took the
You
land.
don't vote for a king.
He wanted the land back.
It's just ladies that hand out swords, and that's all it is.
What
There's no way to
retard
base a
lobbing
government.
scimitars at you is no reason for a government.
However that works.
I didn't say that right. I know.
We all get the gist. It's fine. But there is this whole thing whenever you watch the movie and then you stop and think about it, is the movie starts as if we're supposed to know like what book this is the sequel to, because there's no movie that this is a sequel to. It had to be a book. But I really got thinking about it, and I was like, this is actually no different than how they started A New Hope. Like there's a whole
You're not wrong.
story.
You're not
There's a
wrong.
whole story that we don't know,
Mhm.
that while Star Wars does a hell of a lot better job of keeping you entertained as the movie goes, that you don't think about that as much. And then they tie it back around. Like if they had went, and Jared-Syn is your father, Dojin, then it would have been like, oh, I get it now. Full circle. Brilliant.
would've gotten it.
Honestly, he very well could have been his father.
Troy's
They just
over
couldn't
there.
put
Mm-mm.
that in 3D.
Troy's like, I'm not sold. Continue. Keep going. You got to sell me on this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
But I could see where, being 83, you're also still kind of blazing the trail for everyone else. You know, there's not a book out there that says do this, 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 and this. And as we've pointed out many times, and even on other shows I've been on, everyone's copying not just Star Wars, but like John Carter of Mars. You know, there's always this very kind of formulaic setup to the way these stories are. The problem is they had a grand idea with a stupid small budget. It got bought for a lot of money. So Charles Band did not put $3 million in this, even though that's what it says. He got paid $3 million
Ooh, good
to
for
get
him.
it put in theaters. And this movie started his production company.
This is the equivalent of when you go to work every day and you find out there's a 9-year-old on YouTube that makes way more money than you by playing
Exactly.
video games.
You know how hard it is to get out of bed every day knowing that? Because my kids
It's
watch
extremely
it.
hard to get
Yeah.
out of bed every day knowing that Richard Band, who probably, well, I guess with $3 million could afford cocaine, but just filmed
Cocaine
a
was
bunch of
cheap in
stuff
the
in a
80s, man.
desert and then made $3 million. I am
No.
really having a hard time with this right now.
It really
Like,
is. I mean, he had a fledgling special effects company that wasn't going to cost him a ton of money, that got jobs afterwards, because I am not kidding. I absolutely adore the effects, practical effects of this movie.
I'm
From
not
the
going to argue with
makeup-
there. That's the makeup, the body suits, the explosions. It's all good.
the explosions are cool and the goat carts look cool.
No, Jared-Syn's outfit is amazing. Have you guys
That's
ever
a
watched-
word in the
but yeah.
vocabulary that
Have
exists.
you ever seen Megamind, the cartoon?
Yep.
Will Ferrell
Mhm.
did. I kept screaming Black Mamba every time he come out onto the
I
screen.
mean, he's basically wearing knight's armor with alien pecs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Just yep.
Hey, that dude walks in a room. They go, "That's Jared-Syn." Not, I don't know who that guy is. And I love Knockoff Trapjaw. Knockoff Trapjaw is my absolute favorite design in this movie.
That's
And
why he looks so familiar.
it's
Yeah,
Trapjaw.
yeah.
I totally
perfect.
kept calling him that. Here's the fun part about this is I'm watching the movie and his arm like comes out. It projects
In
out
3D.
of-
In 3D.
in
for sure.
3D.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't you? But you're sitting there looking like that's actually kind of a cool effect. Well, it's because the actor was an amputee. So they
No,
actually
was he
had
really? Was he
Oh.
really? I didn't
Yes.
realize that. Yeah.
so the whole mechanism is that's why there's like no elbow. It's
Yeah.
above his elbow, and that
Oh.
whole thing that projects out is all mechanical. It's in his arm. So while it's doing it, it's not like this hand pushing out. It's whatever they built to pop
That's cool
out
as hell.
is fully
I
in there.
I think that's marvelous. That's wonderful.
Because he
That's
I
had
changed my
pretty
mind.
sweet.
This is the best movie ever.
I'm not gonna say that.
That's what won him
I
over.
won't
One
go
person.
that far.
I'm swaying one person tonight. That's all there is. You guys don't even know what I'm going to score this. This is what's.
Mm.
I am now on a mission that I am going to watch this 3 times every year, Nate. I'm going to build a shrine to Metalstorm.
I'm
I
gonna
am
really
gonna-
need you to watch the new Halloween before the next one comes out because we run a horror podcast. I need you to be up to date on stuff and not just watching Metalstorm every other day.
I think. I think.
How about
it's a
just
lost
you, me,
cause.
Nate?
Yeah.
Just you, me, Nate.
That's
I'll
what
just
we'll
pop
do.
in. I'll just sit there and you'll be like, in this new Halloween, Michael Myers came in. I said, yeah, it looked just like the time Dojin come out of the cave and he was ready to.
I am just now learning that his name was Dojin.
I don't remember any of the names of any of these people.
You were drunk.
Jared-Syn's
That's not
name is in
untrue.
the movie title, Pete. How can you forget his name?
Which one was Jared-Syn?
I thought he was Dr. Metalstorm.
Do you know who? Do you guys?
Was he Dr. Evil?
Yes. Do you guys know who that is, though? The actor.
Not a clue.
Oh
No.
wow, wow. Troy, I saw a slight nod. Is that just?
He's
shut
a
up,
face
Charlie,
that
and say
showed
it?
up in no, he's a face that showed up in a lot of movies. I couldn't name him though.
He was the one that they cast and were so excited to get because he was actually in a Mad Max movie. He was in Road Warrior.
Oh,
He is the leader of the Gastown people.
no
he-
kidding.
He's
Right.
the main guy that
a long time
does
since
the
I've seen Mad
deal with Max.
Oh, he's not
that's-
humongous.
No, he's not. He's not more
Damn.
humongous. And no, he's not assless chaps. He's none of that. No, he's one of the good guys. But they were so excited that we're making a knockoff Mad Max movie, and we got one. We got an actual
We're
Mad Max.
1 degree
on our
away from
movie.
Max.
And you don't know who the girl is either, apparently, huh?
Nope.
Nope.
Guys, nope. All you did was watch this movie. No prep work
watched-
whatsoever.
I watched
Yeah.
the movie and I thought, I'm so sorry. This is not worth my time doing research on.
Nate's gonna
That's
love.
kinda-
Nate's gonna
That's
love.
how
this
I
one.
felt the whole time. I went.
God, this is
Ah,
like
I
a
even like. I
Charlie
was like, I'm
show.
gonna write a bunch of bits that way I can get something out of this episode. And then I went. I am at a roadblock. I am at a what you would call where 2 spaceships drive through a bunch of rainbow triangles. That's where I am
Leprechaun
at.
in space. I don't know, but I don't know. Last time Nate tried to pad out an episode, it ended up being our longest episode to date.
Yeah.
You're welcome,
Nate.
everyone. I was gonna do a Star Wars Mad Lib, but it turns out those are really hard to write.
I bet that doesn't surprise me at all whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right,
Everyone needs to go and give the people at Mad Lib some credit, all right? Damn it. Because
Those
those
are hard.
people are doing some really good work, and
They're
they
doing
put a
it.
lot of words on the pages and multiple pages on top of that. And you have to remember what an adjective is.
And nouns and verbs and
Yeah.
I don't. What are these things? I don't.
What
even
are
know.
these things?
I already told you don't have to pad the episode out, man. You're fine. Can I tell you who the girl was?
Sure. Please,
Without further
regale
ado.
us with the woman that was in the delightful gal that was in this movie.
Kelly Preston.
Was she in Saved by the Bell or something?
No.
That's John Travolta's wife.
90210.
John
John
Travolta.
Travolta's wife.
Kelly
Which-
Preston.
How did they not get John Travolta in
Oh,
1980
was this
whatever?
the weird?
Two?
Was this the weird gal on Battleship Earth that had the long tongue or something?
I refuse to watch that movie again. So it's-
Okay.
if I don't remember it, it didn't happen.
Oh, you mean Battlefield Earth? I was like, what's Battleship Earth? That
I
sounds
don't
cool.
even know. I don't even know.
So
now,
guys,
I knew Hurok,
who can't know Hurok, man?
Richard Moll,
Dude.
Well, yes.
Bull from Night Court.
Bull for Night Court
All right.
from the guy from House, right?
I was going to save this, but since Troy brought it up, I have more good news. So there is something Metalstorm gave the world that everyone should be immensely thankful for. Okay? So when they were casting the movie for Metalstorm, they got a hold of Richard Moll's Richard Moll's agent actually got a hold of them because he's, trying to cast him in whatever he can. And they're like, oh, we like him. He's a very big guy and everything, but we want him to be one of the Cyclonians. To save time, because I think they said he only had a small amount of time he would be available. They said to save time, will he shave his head? Richard Moll had a full head of hair, glorious hair, they said. And Richard Moll's like, no, hell no, no way. I'm not doing it. They go, okay, we lost him. The casting agent goes, hey, I think we can still get him if you tell him we'll give him $500 on top of the pay to shave his head. He immediately said yes. $500 is a lot in 1983.
to shave my hair. I will get paid.
This sounds a lot like the Pete
Oh, wait.
origin story.
Yeah,
I
I should get paid. Where's my checks? Well, anyway, so they shaved his head. About 2 weeks into production, he gets a casting call. And he goes into the art director or the costuming, and he goes, I got to go to a casting and I need a wig. I look ridiculous. I don't have hair. Can you please fix this? And the guy goes, sure, I could probably whip something up. So they put a wig on him and they go, it looks okay. I think it's passable. As Richard Moll gets ready to walk out of the room, he goes, hey, by the way, what are you getting cast for? And Richard Moll goes, it's just some TV show. It's called Night Court, and the costumer goes, dude, just rock the bald head because I got to tell you, you look fantastic bald. You have the structure. And Richard Moll goes, F it, I'll try. He got the role based on his bald head.
Yeah.
Metalstorm gave us Bull from Night Court.
All right.
He was so happy. He wrote that guy a letter 2 weeks later going, thank you for saying that. He goes,
Aw.
because to get a television show in the 80s was huge because that's a constant paycheck. That's paycheck every week, however many episodes they do. And Bull almost stole that show from Harry Anderson.
There were a lot of people in that show, and they all had equal footing, which is really hard to do in a TV show in the 80s. I mean,
you had John Larroquette, you had Harry Anderson,
Harry
you had Richard
Anderson.
Moll. I can't remember her name. She just passed away like a year or two ago. But yeah, I love Data. Brent Spiner made his debut on.
That's right. He was in that.
He was the country bumpkin that bought the bridge. Yeah. Oh, I know my Night Court boys. I love that show.
He had a recurring bit in that. It's great.
Yep.
It's like Google Night
So-
Court to figure out what it is.
Oh, hey kids, ask your grandparents about Night Court. And
I have the DVDs, man.
and must
They
see
get
TV on
expensive as
Thursday
you get,
nights
like-
on NBC, right?
As you get like in the 5th, 6th season, they're really expensive DVDs. But
Are they?
oh, man. Yeah, oh yeah, I've bought up to season 5. I have them. But no, and that's another reason I love this movie so much is because it's Bull. I love that character, and honestly, his makeup in this movie is fantastic. The way they're a Cyclops without being what we traditionally think
Oh
of.
yeah, they are all Cyclops. That's why they
my
have terrible
God.
aim.
They were
can't
literally
drive.
called Cyclopeans, Nate, in the movie several times.
I'm gonna defend Nate here. We were all a little drunk and having a good time, and mostly we
shoulda-
didn't care.
It should have been watching Metalstorm having a good
We were
time.
watching
Troy,
Metalstorm.
get out your notes. That way we can remember their Cyclops
You're the
eyes.
only
Sorry,
one that
man.
took
Here, I'll
notes.
just hold them. There you go.
There we
Hold
go.
'em up
All
to the
right.
camera.
Wish.
Well, since Troy's been so quiet, what the-
WTF? Is that what your notes say?
Yeah. WTF, mate.
I'll upload
From the
that
point-
to.
From the point where Jared-Syn is on his flying motor scooter and he goes, "Open the way," and all of a sudden this black hole opens and it's like, where the did this come from? Out of nowhere.
Well, that's where Interstellar got their ending with Matthew
Nate,
McConaughey.
No,
That is.
No. I'm not saying no to that. He has dropped the F-bomb twice, and you guys keep going with the conversation.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
because you'll
I
just bleep
forgot
it.
you guys don't do that.
All you gotta do is just add in like Jared-Syn going, "I am king" over it. You know, you know, all those classic Jared
That's why we're not
Syn,
editing. You're editing,
catchphrases.
I'm
sucker.
sorry. The Good Beer Bad Movie Night is full on F-bomb. I mean,
Oh, I know. I listened today.
We didn't warn you about that.
I forgot. I
No,
needed
we
to-
had warned him. He's been on an episode before. He was on
yeah.
Event Horizon.
No, I mean, I'm being inaugurated, goddammit.
That's totally fine. That flies.
GD's
here.
fine. F-bomb is not fine.
Come on, man. We just keep things a little classy around here. That's all.
Well, not when Troy's around. He's been making a ruckus the whole time.
You know, I
In the
didn't
way.
even notice that Troy dropped a bomb. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so normal when I'm talking to Troy.
Oh my god.
It was flying a lot that night.
Usually preceded by what the.
I am not sitting here saying the movie's good. Can we all agree that
Nobody
I'm
would
sitting
ever
here
do that,
not
Nate.
saying
Charlie.
it's good?
Nobody
No,
would
no.
ever do
No
that.
one is going to put you on trial for that.
Oh,
But I really wish you guys had took the chance to watch the making of, because it is eye-opening as far as
I would love to, because
No,
I
it's-
really wanted
honestly,
to
it's
understand
You
fantastic.
need answers.
what was going on. What
And
were
I
they
would
thinking?
watch.
The fact that they had what'd you say? They had 3 weeks to do it.
they had 3 weeks to finish it. So they
Yeah,
had kind of
man.
already started, but eventually, like, Charles Band is going, okay, that car's going to come off. It rolls off the cliff, and I want it to explode.
Yeah.
And then the second director goes, but it's the first car we need for the shot tomorrow. If you blow it up now, we don't get the shot for tomorrow. So it's this chaos. They're also all in a desert. They're all on site, on location with minimal stuff. And it's literally like they have a handful of cars, and you have to plan this stuff out. There is no story to this
What
movie.
desert
Period.
did they find themselves in for this?
I didn't look
I
it
would
up.
watch
don't know
this
if it's
again
in
with the commentary.
I loved
there. Yeah.
the all the cars blowing up every time they crashed, because Nate came up with. He goes, "They're like apocalyptic Pintos."
They are.
There was a car that rolled off the top of a hill, and it got like
Yes.
three rotations in and just blew up for no flipping
Yeah.
reason.
Was that the one that like it stopped and then we waited for it to explode
I think-
and then
I
it
think you're
did
right.
and we
Like,
all
oh,
that's-
cheered?
That's the
We all
3D
kind of
one.
like leaned forward with our mouths open,
Yeah.
and then it blew up, and we went, "Yeah!"
the little drop of fire fell down and the
Oh.
car exploded, because that was all 3D. That was a 3D explosion.
We missed out on the 3D of this.
This
Well,
let-
so
let
did
me-
I. Let me clarify. I didn't watch this in 3D. I
No,
watched
we
it on
didn't either.
Blu-ray.
Because it didn't come with the glasses.
Well, you have to have a TV
We didn't have that-
and
yeah,
a player that plays
That's
it.
what's
so it's
so
not
crazy
just
to me,
one
because there
thing.
are DVDs that come with the glasses that it works on. Like
That's
that
because
movie, this movie, by all means, should have had that.
That's a layer that they would add to some, so that the glasses do the work. But the newer ones, where it was a 3D Blu-ray player,
Where
a
it actually
3D
had, like, the-
television, it was a
The
whole system.
3D like official glasses.
Look, man,
which I
Shout
did
Factory
find.
put this movie out. You
They weren't
understand?
gonna
This
mess
is
around.
Shout
The
Factory.
Shop Factory is legit. Don't.
I found a 65-inch
Hand to
curved
God,
4K
Shop
3D TV on
Okay.
eBay for $1,000.
That's
So
not bad.
if
Don't
we
buy
spend
that.
$42 for 24 months with PayPal credit, I mean,
Don't
it'd
do
be
that.
paid
I
off.
have some
No,
big-
don't do that.
Come on, Pete. Why you got?
No.
why all of a
I
don't
sudden
think
gotta
it
be
comes
the
with
voice
the
of reason on
glasses,
this
though.
episode?
How many? Nope. Pete says no.
So this
He's
this
like
is
the
gonna
dad.
I know.
That's $1,000 on a television that you don't need.
But I
I
could
do.
watch.
I own a
This
3D
movie is not
DVD,
worth
Pete.
spending $1,000 on a television.
It's in 3D.
It doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Yeah, there's
It
the
doesn't-
guy that Troy had to hook up for the 3D TV going, well, I just bought the TV for Metalstorm, but, I got really excited when Shout Factory
That's his
introduced
problem.
We guys, this is the most lively I think I've seen us in a very long time. I didn't know this kind of movie was going to bring. I knew I knew you guys would like this movie. Period.
No, okay, so legit, we had a raucous time watching this
Oh, yeah.
stupid movie.
I
And-
wish I had
and-
been invited.
And you were always invited, except you live like a world away.
You
Oh,
live
no
like
way.
3 metal storms of distance away.
I live on the desert planet of Lemuria. That's where
Right.
I live.
Right.
I
So-
know, but the
Lemuria
trailer
does
said
have
Earth.
really cool statues.
Bro, is that
Like,
not the most
there was
metal
like
of
one
statues?
statue that looked pretty cool with like an antler or
Oh, that
something
very
like that.
first one was very
Yeah.
That's the one where
Ooh,
he
that was-
opened up the compartment and found David Bowie's codpiece in it. And then we all went,
Yeah.
wait, what is this? Where'd this come from?
We'll
What's going
never
on?
know.
Shit.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Us for 7 hours.
And honestly,
for
Charlie, I wish you could have been there because, like, what we all sat there after that thing and we turned it off. We all kind of looked at each other and goes, thank God we watched this together because if we had watched it separately, we would be so angry right now.
Yeah.
What did you just make me watch?
I don't think I could do it by myself.
I basically watched it by myself because Jackie made no sounds whatsoever. She was basically like, if I don't make any noise, he
Yeah, because
won't
Jackie
ask
was
me
counting how many
things.
knives are in the drawer that she can stab you with for making her watch you.
Wow.
He's probably not wrong because it did come to the point with the big rubber suit monster that it got done. And I say, wait a minute before you say anything. And she just looks at me like I wasn't, but continue. And I said, this was filmed for 3D. They had to do something that looked awesome on screen in 1983. And she's like, okay, whatever. And we just continued on with the movie.
What's the rubber suit monster? The electric one?
I don't.
Yeah, the
Oh,
white
yeah.
electric one. Yeah.
The one that he shoots the rock and the trickle of water comes out and that's how he defeats it, right? Isn't that what happened?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
He used Pokemon tactics.
You took notes, Troy. We don't remember.
Yeah.
An actual practical suit monster. And then what they did was they call it filming in 50-50. So I guess there's like this glass film layer so they can light the monster suit because it was like a phosphorescent white, but not light up everything else around it so it appeared to glow.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
What
That's
they
super
said
cool.
was
Yeah.
what you're seeing on screen is actually what they saw.
Yeah,
That's how
that's-
it looked in real time. Just the lightning thing was animated, obviously,
I-
but the glow was legit. And that's what I'm talking about. Like when you find out all these little tidbits, you just start going, holy crap, that's awesome. The little rubber snake trimmer monsters that jump up out of the ground, they had like 3 days to make that. They were like, apparently they realized, well, now they're just walking in the desert and they're not even in a car. We need to spice it up a little bit. So they made trimmers and they were like, we got to do it fast and quick. And they made these like rubber monsters that come up under a pit that they dug and grab them and bite them and all this stuff. I don't know how I feel right now. I feel like I'm giving you guys the commentary of the movie, like because the three
It's
of you are
what
just
we
staring.
obviously needed.
You guys are like staring at me like, keep going, Charlie. What? How
Keep
much
going.
more? What else you got?
You're going to give us what we
more.
need because we thought this was adorable.
We did not do a good job on preparing.
Oh, but we had a good time talking about it. Holy moly. This was a movie that was clearly needed for friends. We needed people in the room to enjoy this, and not saying that you didn't enjoy this by yourself, Charlie, but maybe you're a little weird.
So
The rest of us needed some companionship to
Charlie, the lone gunman that watches the movies by himself.
You're a lone ranger.
I am a lone seeker.
If you
I
wouldn't see
seek the
if
movie.
you wouldn't be
The
so-
Lone
so
Ranger
far
class
away.
fighter.
And you guys are the Lone Rangers in plural. I don't think you can be a Lone Ranger, bro. All right, guys. I'll continue on Pete's thought here, but we need to drop a commercial. Believe it or not, for the people that didn't think this was much of an episode, we're almost 50 minutes into the recording. So it's
That's okay.
commercial
It doesn't need to be.
time.
Doesn't need to be 2 hours.
I didn't say it needed to. Nate, like
Nate?
filler.
I didn't
Can
make
add
them ad
in-
lib. They're really hard.
Commercial.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy,
Killboy Kreitz.
oh, that was pretty good,
Thank you.
Dave,
I have the weirdest boner.
and Pete. IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I f***ed that up. Try that again. As we drag Kathleen, kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
The future is coming after you, ruthlessly, relentlessly, engulfing you, overwhelming you, until it ultimately terminates you. And only one thing can save you.
I said I'd be back.
Terminator 2, 3D Battle Across Time. An incredible new way to ride the movies, only at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the podcast that's based on the old school but can still help you find the good stuff from today. Jimmy Street and the Plastic Chic, Jared, are the undisputed tag team champions of the wrestling podcast world. From thought-provoking topics to superstar interviews to action figure expertise. This team does it all, and all they ask is, give me back my pro wrestling! Every other Thursday, wherever you listen to podcasts.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. So there's a little bit of an angry Nate here after these commercials just played.
Oh,
Because-
don't be angry.
Oh, no. This is Child Nate that's angry.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Kings Island used to be Paramount Kings Island.
Mhm.
You know?
Wow.
And
okay.
I never
Okay.
got to go on the Terminator 2 3D ride or the James Bond 3D ride because I'm terrified of rides, and my parents thought you'll probably just hate that one too. Now,
So
if I had to guess, they're probably correct in their assessment.
So yeah,
But
I'm like
Terminator 2 in 3D sounds really cool, and I've never seen
Yeah.
it.
but you're terrified of rides.
Horrified of them.
So
But-
your parents are kind of cool because they didn't let you go on things that that terrified you.
I loved Pete's
is
confused
true.
look at first, like, what is Nate doing? And what most people don't know is sometimes I'd live drop. So when I drop a commercial, we're listening to it, and Pete usually takes it as his beer break and other breaks. Well, I also add a fun little commercial in the middle, and I was like, what do I play for 3D? I found the Terminator 3D ride commercial, and I put it in there, and apparently I triggered Nate. I don't know.
Yeah, you triggered something. But guess what? It's on YouTube. I can watch it.
Yeah, you can.
The
You can actually
Terminator-
watch the Terminator 2 3D ride.
Th-
the
does it still
Universal
scare
Pictures
you,
did.
Nate, on YouTube?
Well, I mean, as long as I'm not moving,
Nate,
like as long as
Nate,
my like chair
Nate,
doesn't
we have-
shake,
We need to talk. I think
me and rides do not work together. I did the
You-
3D
you and
ride
Ride.
in the one that's in Florida with Harry Potter, and
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
Let me
like
tell you.
Hogwarts that moved
Yeah.
you around and swung you
the
up and
moment
down?
that you're on the Quidditch field, I wanted to lose my mind. I was wanting to scream and cry as an adult. And then I opened my eyes at the worst possible time when a goddamn spider comes dropping down in front of you. The worst time to ever open your eyes and go, maybe it's gotten a little bit better. But no, it's only gotten 10 times worse. I got off that ride going, I never want to go to Florida again.
That ride was a little bit more intense than I was expecting it to be
So
for a Harry
intense.
Potter ride.
Not wanting to go to
I just
Florida
wanted
is
to walk
probably
through
a good idea.
Hogwarts.
Jackie's
Wait,
gonna
wh-
kill
why
me,
are you
but
strapping me in? Wah!
Yeah.
I'll make you feel better. Jackie hates roller coasters. Period. She
Mhm,
does not like
mhm.
any of those kind of things.
It's
We
okay.
went to Disney for our honeymoon in Florida, and we did some of those. I can't even remember the name of the ride. It was like hosted by Ellen DeGeneres, and you sat in this big like car track vehicle, and you went around, and it just did
Like,
all these things around
Was
you.
it
It
a
was-
Nemo thing? Because was the voice
Nah,
of.
it's just we're talking 2001.
Wasn't that Finding Nemo time?
No, I don't think it was.
I
It
don't
was
know.
later than that. Anyway,
It don't matter.
Jack, I might have even got the year wrong, and I'm in trouble already.
It don't matter.
past
It
that is now.
literally doesn't matter.
So anyway, we had done a few of these little things, and I had done like the Tower of Terror because I love rides,
Mhm.
and she's like, no, and I was like, well, let's go do Space Mountain. It's just this like ride that takes you through the solar system, and she's like, okay, and I know what Space Mountain is. And it's single car, and I already knew that, so she's not next to me to hurt me. And she sits next to me, and Space
Mhm.
Mountain starts, and oh my god, I think she called me every name under the sun
Mhm.
during the ride. And now I don't care if she watches a YouTube video of a ride, she'll be like, if Charlie wants me to get on it, no. It's just there's no way I'm getting on that ride. But I told the guys here, I was waiting on Pete because I wanted to explain probably why I maybe enjoyed this movie a little more than I should have
Because
without
you've got
watching
pieces of your
the
brain missing.
Yeah, kinda. So
There's a crayon stuck up.
It's a
his
crayon in your
cranium.
nose.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
So I was invited onto another YouTube channel with our buddy J-Man, he's on the Action Elite.
I like
YouTube
that.
channel with
You
us.
guys do good work over there. That's
We
a lot of
really
fun.
try. So J-Man invited me on. He wanted to do this big versus bracket. So last week we did Kroll versus Yor, and
Ooh,
it's
Your
fantastic.
Your has been on the list for a while, Troy.
I don't know Yor.
Yeah,
ring a bell.
you don't need to. Don't worry about it.
I have
Yeah.
wanted to
Yeah,
cross
it's
over
bad.
with you guys
Yeah,
with this movie. This is still rap. This was
we
originally
did
supposed
Crawl like a year ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
This is still rap because I was going to give it to Pete, but I got sick. So I had it ready.
Keep your diseased Blu-rays to yourself.
So anyway, we did a versus of that. So this week we're doing Space Mutiny with Reb Brown that I watched Saturday. Oh my god. And I have to still watch Battle Beyond the Stars to remind myself. I've seen that movie quite a few times, but I like to be fresh.
Make
So
sure
I
you
have
listen to
watched
our
a-
commentary.
I have watched a lot of bad movies in like a week and a half.
You are living in a bad movie world right now.
And I watched Metalstorm going, this ain't bad. This ain't even close to
Par for the course.
I've seen worse.
And the reason I'm also bringing this up is Metalstorm is on one of our versus lists. I forget what it's up against, but I think it has a good shot to not win whatever movie it's up against. Just spoiler alert right now.
Space Hunter. If it's up against anything but Space Hunter, it needs to be those two need to be lined up. Troy, we did Space Hunter.
Yep.
Did you guys do
And
for
the-
Space Hunter? I
yeah.
can't remember.
Yeah,
what
Space
it
Hunters.
was.
Yes, Molly Ringwald. Yes,
But
that's the one I would line this one up with.
It's
If-
kind of
if
the
it's-
same movie, but it has
Mhm.
a smidgen of a plot to that one at least.
So
Sure,
basically,
Troy,
I
whatever you
was
say.
primed for this movie, so that's why it didn't like cut me like it cut you guys.
Yeah, I think Troy and
Oh.
I have been deadened to a lot of these movies.
Deadened. Is that? Did you make that yourself?
Like our souls have been stomped on enough times. That like, oh, I don't care anymore. But it's a delight to see some great things every once in a while.
On the behind the scenes, did they mention anybody dying in the making of this film? I saw during one of the cars coming up and over like a little hill, like one of the guys jumped the wrong way and was
he's under it.
the car.
I called that out, but if you watch right after the car keeps going, he moves again. He like rolls the other way.
I was like,
no, I'm pretty sure he was under the car.
No,
I
it
don't
looked
doubt
like
that.
it.
That stunt person went, oh shit, and rolled the correct way after that.
Metalstorm is up against Space Hunter. I just pulled up the.
I told you. I said that. Yes.
And from what it's a blurry picture because I had to blow it up. I'm pretty sure it says Space Hunter 3D, so I think that movie was also done in 3D.
That doesn't surprise me that it was in 3D. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, good job, Pete. Maybe you should come on with me. We can.
I'm not going to say no. I'll have to listen to it. It's been a while. I will listen back to that episode and.
Well, it's on. I'll send you the link. It's on J-Man's actual channel.
Yeah.
No,
isn't a bad idea.
it's dude. Peer pressure's a thing, and it happened at the end of the episode. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's whoever won is not who you thought was gonna win. All right, boys. So we want to talk about. I don't know what to talk about now because we haven't really talked about the movie itself. You know, it's.
Well, we all have to stare at each other for 2 minutes before we say anything next about the movie.
That happens in the movie. Yeah, you're not wrong.
So that's gonna be really hard to do in a audio format.
I don't know. You guys don't do the editing. I do, so it happens more often than you expect.
Turns out this is a 6-hour-long episode with all the pauses.
Was I the only one that found Bull's character hilarious in this movie with the unexpected joke when they find the mask and they're like, "You two found the mask," and Tim Thomerson goes, "Nope, he did. Then he gets to live and you die." I was like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, his friend was really quick to narc. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Just tighten that up a little bit.
That was me
beautiful.
with your guys' little chant you've invented, and it's. Do you want me to line that up in post? I might be able to do that.
That might be better.
I mean, it's also very white of us to not get this right.
I don't know what's going on here.
That's instead of lining it up on top of each other, I just put it in sequence.
Yeah.
Maybe in the outtakes. I don't know. I feel like this whole episode is an outtake right now.
The whole movie was an outtake.
How do I promote this, guys? Can you paint me a picture of normally when
so
I
you
promote
it
things
in 3D, but then all the posts are not in 3D.
This is podcasting in 3D.
Yeah, yes. But I was really gonna do that with that whole thing where you can put it in 3D and you move the phone around and it moves. I was gonna do that for these.
Right. Just it was
But you have to have a 3D podcast viewer.
That's right.
This is very hard to have a 3D podcaster.
3D podcast headphones, 3D podcast player. It's about $5,000, but it's worth it for our episode about Metalstorm.
Sure. It is.
I'm going to bring up something that I have brought up before, but this is the episode it needs to be brought up on. Hey, what you got, Pete? Go ahead.
I'm just saying that.
No,
is this where you want to start? You want to start because I liked how you introed this. So you just want to start here?
Intro what? All this is in the episode.
Like, I got something I want to start.
Yeah, I'll fix it, or I won't. It'll be fine. No, but this is. I've said this
movie
in a
is
past
confused
episode. Pete's lost. He's eating the microphone. It's fine. You guys are doing your whole little chant. You don't want the chant in the episode?
We'll never know.
You want it. We'll never know.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Can I do my thing now?
Yeah,
good
proceed.
Yes, please proceed. Bushu.
Why is Oculus not allowing us to watch these 3D movies.
You just talked about this
I
like
know
2
I
episodes
did.
ago.
I'm bringing it up because
And
you know
you're
what?
100%
Metalstorm's in 3D.
We could be living the movie. Even Metalstorm might be good in that
Right?
manner.
I'm telling you, I really, really want to watch this movie in 3D. I feel like it would add something it was missing because when you watch it, you're not seeing the whole thing of what they're trying to put out there.
We're
You know
not
what I
getting
mean?
the
yes, you
artistic
are.
Charles Band vision.
No,
You
we
see
weren't.
exactly what they're trying to do, and it's all bad.
No,
like this,
no.
like the motor scooters and the shurikens,
The size?
No, the pointy
the ball
fan,
the ball spikes that they're
the
being
the
thrown.
hockey puck instead of the phantasm
Right.
ball. Yeah.
Right.
Nate's like, I don't remember any of
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, I
Took out
don't
roads.
remember
I have
that.
absolutely no idea what's
Right.
going
There's
on.
that too. Yes.
It's the weapon that took out Rhodes, and he's like,
Yeah.
go on without me, basically. And
Where he's all bloodied up on the dirt.
then-
Oh, where it gave him just a little bit of a black eye.
Apparently, yeah. Just a little bit of a black eye. Yeah, you're right. Good job, Nate. God.
He
I
comes
don't know.
back and he's got like a bandage. He's like, I'm okay.
Yeah, he's
It's all
driving
good,
the
baby.
I
car.
can now be a Cyclops.
He was Cyclonian at that point. That's how that works.
oh,
car-
that's what's going to be in the sequel.
When do we finally get the sequel though? I'm really looking forward to it.
Well,
I'm gonna make the
Jared-Syn got
sequel.
away.
He
Been
did get
30
away.
What a
It's been
disappointment.
30 years. I don't think you're
The
getting a
bad
sequel,
guy got
fellas.
away. Well, if I was wearing that badass of a helmet on my sky bike, I'm getting away. I can open up portals, go to Tron, and then disappear back through a black portal. And apparently,
Go
as
to
long as
Tron.
you're close enough behind, even though the portal disappeared, it will reappear and allow me to follow you. So that worked. And then I'm going to be like, I'm going to find him using his own tools and then blow up the crystal. I'm like, I feel like that crystal was important for the time travel thing because he says, I'll follow him anywhere at any time while Jared-Syn goes to Baby Dojin and does the whole Rhodey from Endgame where he's like, we just take the umbilical cord around Dojin and there's no more Dojin. But if you watch Marvel movies, you get that reference.
Really dark.
Pretty dark. Yeah.
You guys did this to me. You realize that, right? I was ready to have a rousing conversation about mining crystals and red crystals and
Oh, well,
you
if
know.
you get touched by a crystal in the back of the neck, you have a bad time.
It takes your
but
life force.
if you just touch a crystal and don't touch your neck, you have a good time.
Right. Did you guys know that that acid that he shot was a hallucinogenic that sent you to another dimension?
Sure, it did.
Yes. I
I
figured that out.
Troy
kinda
figured that
thought-
out. Yep.
You know,
And
because
that's
like,
how. And Jared-Syn was there, and he puts the crystal to your neck to take your life force to fuel the life crystal. It's really cool that it was named that because it feels like there's no instruction booklet because you know that other guy shot lasers and he's like, that's not it. And then he shot it again and goes, I should have known. I was like, how many red crystals have you tested lately? Because I feel like the marking that you all of a sudden realized you knew what it was, but you were still questioning what it was when you were testing. Like, oh, this is an ancient symbol.
but from what I
I've seen this
gathered,
before.
crystals are currency in this because the one
Clear
miner.
crystals. That's a clear one.
All right, so
Yeah.
clear crystals equal money.
That's money. They're
And
rich.
those can be traded for goods and services.
To get it tested.
But then Claw Guy just throws it on the ground because he's upset.
Right.
And now
Which-
he no longer has the money.
Well, whenever you do like crystal type harvesting and stuff, so this
I
is,
thought you were
we're
going to
getting
say
into
meth.
maybe a little bit. The larger the meth crystal, the better. So it kind of works that way with actual crystals that you find in the earth. That the more formed that the crystalline structure is, more intact is the more money it's worth. When it's broken, if you have all the pieces, it's worth a little bit more. But if
But
it's a
the
lot
Claw
of little
Guy
pieces, it's
could
really
have
only good for
retired.
jewelry. they're not in it for the money. They're in it for the planet. So he is
For the land.
He is the son of Jared-Syn. Just
Troy's
Yeah.
got this. Please.
No, that was always my. They were in it for the land,
Yes.
the desert that is open and empty. What did you get when you got the land? I mean,
Sand.
You got sand, and you could say, "All this that you see before you, everything the sun touches is yours." You know.
Look, the smart
Called it.
investments. The smart investments are always real estate, Troy. I mean, come on.
Look, Simba Sin.
Did you not see the little park benches that had Jared-Syn's face on them as the car was driving through the desert? I'm pretty sure one was in 3D, and it come right at your face, and it's just Jared-Syn, and he's
Believe
like,
me,
I'll
I
help
would
you
not
get your
forget
new
those
first
lips.
Seriously.
All right, we're done. All right, we're done. Movie's done. Crystal explodes.
Well, no, the movie's not done yet.
Bull
It
stabs
ends
Trapjaw
with really no resolution at
we
all.
just said that he got away. Troy and I already discussed this. He got away because we're waiting for the sequel.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I'll
opened
follow
the
him
wormhole and dived
Yeah.
into it, and that was it.
Yeah,
There-
I'll
there's-
follow
there's
him
zero
across
resolution
time
to
and
this film.
space. Yeah,
That's true.
and then he shot the crystal. So he
I just hope
shot
that the sequel also
phone book.
uses "Stunts Are Us" for their.
Absolutely.
I hope so. Please.
Dial a stunt.
Please.
Yeah.
No, the stunts
was
were
actually the name
performed by the stunt company Stunts Are Us.
That was in the.
I like it.
It's in the
Did
credits.
you not you didn't
Because
see the
we had to watch to see if there was a post-credit scene where Jared-Syn returns. He does not.
yet. You forgot yet.
You know what? Charles Band still has produced like 420 movies, so it's still possible. He missed the Avatar train, though. That was when he should have really jumped back on the 3D. You know.
You didn't see Jared-Syn in that first Avatar movie? He was in one of the mechs.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that
literally
makes sense.
said, "I will follow you across space and time." That's how
Even
it works.
Pandora.
Come
And
on,
he
man.
was on the A Team.
Yeah, see?
That actor actually was.
He was.
on A Team.
Oh, was
Yeah.
he?
He did a lot of one-time guest spots.
Yeah.
There was a couple he was like on 3 episodes. Yeah.
He's probably on Fantasy Island.
If I was
Maybe.
him,
Probably was.
I would always ask people, "Do you not know who I am? I am Jared-Syn," and they'd be like, "What, sir? Just this is a self-checkout lane."
Did you give a name?
He was also in Mad Max. Let's not forget that. All right, guys, let's do an equally confusing body count.
Yeah.
Leave anything for us?
Just bodies. Body count. Body count.
And crystals.
Body count. Body count.
I couldn't find a body count, guys.
Oh, no.
no one has taken the time to do a body count. And
This is your time to shine to internet
didn't-
fame.
No. Charlie.
Well, I didn't have
don't take
I
a
didn't
body
have-
count.
I
Don't
didn't
watch
have
it again.
time.
Take a body count.
I didn't have time to watch it again because I will do an official. So I guesstimated. And I'm gonna say 15. I feel like that's right because there's only whenever the henchman would all of a sudden appear wherever Dojin was on the desert road. Like blah, and like 3 henchmen would die and they'd pull out their laser tag pistol. You remember laser tag, the 1980s ones that had the white and black guns?
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what it
Oh,
looked
yeah.
like. And then Trapjaw would run away, even though they had bigger guns and acid. Ooh, laser pistol! I'm going to run away. So, from
But
memory,
who could stand up to the fury that is a Ranger fighting class?
This is true.
well, also when Kelly Preston's shooting at you, you should run too. I think John Travolta said that in an interview one time. So anyway,
That's fair.
so body count around 15.
Sure. Why not?
Ish. 15-ish. All right. I guess we do this part.
You ever
next.
killed anyone? You ever do all bad?
Kill of the week.
Oh,
Troy is
boy.
our guest. You get to go first. What's your favorite kill of the Metalstorm, the destruction of Jared-Syn?
Obviously, it was the electric white monster that got killed by stepping in a puddle.
Solid. It worked.
Puddles
though,
do
didn't
kill.
Puddles kill, man.
Yeah.
You guys.
He was electricity and water. They don't mix.
Obvious.
It's science. Pete. Kill of the week.
So there was a an action scene where
There was a lot of them. Be
True.
more specific.
A car rolled off the cliff, and before the car hit anything, it exploded in midair for no particular reason. And I think that made me laugh so very hard. Like it tumbles, it takes 1.5 turns and kablooey. Just because. And it made me laugh so hard, and that was my I think I assume there were people in that car, so that is my kill of the week.
He was one of the 15-ish.
Sure.
So it's fine.
The car is dead.
Nate,
for sure.
what's your
Okay.
kill of the week?
So I gotta think real quick about every second that happened in Metalstorm.
We got
And
time.
you know
It was
what?
a fast
Before
movie,
I
so
forgot
fast-paced.
everything, there was an opening scene with a flying scooter that crashes into a mountain.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And that I
Yeah.
do remember. So that is going to be my kill of the week.
That's actually a
Before your
good
brain
one.
shut off.
Yeah, because right after that, I blacked out.
That's
And you
because there
had
was
one
10 minutes
beer.
of driving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I had to work the next day. And the funny thing is, I talked to one of my coworkers about, I went to a buddy's house, watched a really, really bad movie with them. And he's like, oh, what movie? I went Metalstorm. He went, is that the one that came out in 3D back in the day? And he remembered what it. So
What? Really?
Yeah, he remembered it. I'm impressed. He remembered it.
I did too. I was very impressed.
I had vague memories of this. I had flashes of it because I'm sure I watched this on, cable at one point. And probably as a kid, I think I enjoyed the hell out of it. So
It's your turn, Charlie.
my kill of the week, it's a bit of a two-parter, I have to say, because I like the first bit of damage Ball takes when they rip his arm off in 3D.
That's pretty good.
That
and
was a good
right
one.
through the screen. And not only that, at the end, Bull just decides to pull Darth Vader throwing Emperor Palpatine over the rails, and he pulls out his knife, stares through Ball's soul, and stabs him in the stomach and lets him fall, while Daddy Dearest is up at the top doing also his most famous Darth Vader impression, going, no, and then he disappears. Poof, gone, like most dads. I forgot the milk. Poof, he's out. And no, I think it was the destruction of Ball. That's what it was. Because there is no destruction of Jared-Syn in this movie.
No, he gets away.
Yeah, he got away.
Sometimes the
it's
bad
not
guy
even
gets
like
away.
The destruction of Jared-Syn's cult, the destruction of Jared-Syn's son. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. All right, boys. We got to do it. Let's rate this bad boy. Troy, once again, for your inaugural appearance on the Metalstorm. You will always go down as I appeared on the Metalstorm episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies.
Let's hope he appears on more.
How many Al Leongs do you give Metalstorm, the destruction of Jared-Syn?
I'm going to give it 1 because I'm.
You know it's a scale of 10.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I liked it. He was like, yeah, no.
Did you give it? Did you give it 1 Jared-Syn?
1.
one. Okay. Wow.
a bad
That's our
movie.
first one. That's our first one. I bypassed one and went no score for Thirst.
I think I
I
gave
said I'm
Texas
not even
Chainsaw
gonna rate
Massacre
it.
a 1. I was pretty
Did you
upset
give
at
it a
that
1?
one. I was pretty mad at it.
You might have. I refused to go listen back because I didn't like the
Yeah,
movie at all. All right, Pete, how many Ao Leongs are you giving this masterpiece?
I'm not as angry as Troy is, but it's a 4.
He's fuming right now.
It's 4.
Okay.
This movie is bad, and I do not recommend it to anyone. Please spend your time wisely and watch something else like Thirst.
Troy is sitting there like, this isn't a beer rating, Pete. 4?
I'm flabbergasted. 4. We were just talking about how this beats.
I believe the
That's 4.
exact quote was,
If
"This is
out
the
of
worst
10,
movie
4.
we have ever watched."
If this
So
is
you're just leaving
out of
room
10,
for the rest of them that we're going
this
to
is
watch. Is that what you're
4.
saying? Okay.
There is time. There's levels to go down, and there's levels to go up. This is not as bad as some, and this is clearly not as good as others.
Okay.
And I think that this is way better than Thirst. So,
Pete, you do not have to justify your score to me.
I
I
don't.
support you.
No, yes,
So,
4 is as
Nate,
good as I can do. Hey, shoot me.
how many Ao Leongs do you give Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared-Syn?
With friends, this was an easy 9 of a night.
This is true. And maybe that
9 of a
maybe
night.
that
I'll
was
give you
judgment.
That.
Yeah, okay,
But
okay.
my official score, I got to go back to our bit. I'm giving this movie a 2.
Ooh, yeah, he's not right.
Yeah.
I support
This
your
was
2.
I just
I support your 2.
I don't know why Charlie made us watch this. I feel like people are going to see Metalstorm, The Destruction of Jared-Syn on their podcatcher, on Spotify, on Apple, and it's going to say in 3D, and they'll be like, well, I've never heard of that before. And then they're going to listen to this, and they're going to go, well, I still don't know what it is.
Neither do we.
This is true.
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
One more.
Charlie has receipts, gentlemen. And what is kind of funny is to get Troy's not in our little 3-party chat. So Pete found the old 3-party chat of me, him, and Troy in our text.
I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever you sent you, so for today, Troy is good for 7:30. What email do you want to use, Troy? And I got the email. I won't read it out so you don't get weird pictures, Troy. So I was like, oh, we do have a chat. And I scrolled down. There's only one other message on this one. July 1st. Pete, how about Troy and I join you for Metalstorm when you get around to it? I respond, I am totally down for that. And below that, in all caps, sweet. I'm so excited, from Pete.
Yep.
At 8:06 in the morning, Pete had a terrible idea.
When
I
say things,
gentlemen,
they are clearly being communicated and are leaving my brain immediately.
Here comes the back pedal. Pete is the king of back pedal. So while I would fully take responsibility had I introduced us to Metalstorm, I was not going to deny Pete the honor of bringing an action movie onto what was supposed to be his inaugural appearance on the show.
Pete,
so
on this podcast, you're allowed to pick good movies, my man.
Does anybody need my emergency contacts? Because maybe I'm forgetting things a little too frequently.
Yeah, I believe beer has a lot to do with it.
I'm going to take you to the pound.
The pound? I would be adopted immediately.
You whooped the puppy eyes.
Jeez, you would scratch me behind my ears.
I'm gonna rub that Pete
Oh.
belly.
It's not my belly I want you to rub.
Yep, they're still going. I haven't even got
can
to
edit that
give
out if you
my
wish.
rating yet. As I wish. I honestly,
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Charlie, what's your
Oh.
rating, Charlie? Charlie, what's your rating?
So I'm gonna mess with the spread, boys. I'm giving this 5.5 Allions.
Oh, I think that's
I-
low.
Passing grade.
I mean, that's I
Not
genuinely
the
think that's low.
American grading system.
It's very low.
I-
So normally on
I'm really
our show,
surprised.
gentlemen, is we pick movies that bring us happy memories, and sometimes we may watch a movie and go, "Oh wow, it did not age well," and it might get a 6. So
Yeah.
we don't rarely do we cold watch, but when we do, I don't know if we have a great track record yet.
It's your show.
I don't
man.
think the ratio is good, but anyway. So last night I was thinking about it, and I was going, I'm no more than a 5. I'm no more than a 5, and I might be lower. Probably would have agreed with Pete on 4. Watching the behind the scenes and going, or I should say, giving myself perspective as to what happened and why certain decisions were made and why what we have on the screen is what we have. I take sympathy and I go, okay, they all know story's non-existent. So you know what? I'm going to ignore the story. What was I impressed with? And it's got if I could rate this just on practical effects, it's an 8. I loved the practical effects in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Flat out. I loved them. I
They
loved
had
car
real cars
crashes,
driving around. Yeah.
real cars, car crashes. All of the Cyclopeans had
Mhm,
actual like prosthetics put on their face. Fun fact, the reason why Dojin puts on the Cyclopean helmet at the end to get on the motorcycle air thing
Oh yeah.
was to do multiple shots, they didn't want to have to continually fix his hair so it didn't look like it would go like one way or another. So the helmet, actually for both of them, having helmets on meant they didn't have to worry about anything else other than look
Now
this
that
way or look that way or
is
anything
clever problem solving in filmmaking.
that is that we talk about independent filmmaking and how much we love it and how much we appreciate what they do, and you overlook a lot of things with independent filmmaking once you find out about it. This movie is independent filmmaking.
Your excuse, your reasoning for this movie is like, look, they knew it was shit.
Yeah.
So it's
It's still a shitty movie. Yeah.
Like I'm gonna give it like a middling grade. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I could
Yes,
bake
yes.
you a cake and forget to put sugar in and accidentally use salt instead and like hand
Yes.
it to you and be like, I accidentally used salt. It's still not gonna taste good.
But would I try it? Yes. Did you
That's your
did you take the time to bake me a cake? Yes,
He
you did.
put a lot of love and craft
Right.
into this cake for you.
into this
Have you
salty,
never
sweaty cake.
sat down at a meal that tasted like utter garbage, but the person that made it is so like, I hope I didn't screw it up. Please.
Hey man, you don't have to
please tell
talk
me
about
I
my
didn't
cooking
screw
like
it up.
this.
Yeah. So has Nate ever cooked for you? But what I'm saying is I can
you bench my
appreciate
barbecues.
I can appreciate the work that a lot of people put some work into it, and fantastic work. Can I blame them that the story didn't come through? Can I blame them that Charles Band made
Yes, you
$3
can. They
million
got paid for all this.
and they go, okay, we got to be done in 3 weeks. Dude got paid. I'm not mad at him, and it got put in theatrical run.
I'm bitter and
I
jealous
can
of it.
appreciate.
I'm very
it.
jealous. I'm very upset that I
See,
got
I
a
don't-
raw deal.
I'll take $3 million.
I
in
really
1983,
rarely-
for heaven's sakes.
With 3 weeks of
It's-
work.
You
Uh-huh.
guys are missing the main thing of what there's two big things that
Bring it.
this movie gave us. It gave us Bull from Night Court, number
True.
one.
True.
And number two, we wouldn't have Charles Band movies if Metalstorm hadn't come out and he hadn't made bank. This started his distribution run. This is before Puppet Masters. This is before his Dolls, all those Charles Band movies before he did Empire. We wouldn't have any of that.
Okay, 1.5 hours.
We hadn't got Metalstorm just on the. I mean, for a man to just go, that sounds like an awesome poster, dude. Let's make it a movie. I love that kind of mentality, and it's what I'm pissed off about Hollywood.
It's a mentality
now
that is
anyway.
missing in film these days.
It is. Now it's, I want the easy money, let's reboot it. Not, wow, you guys made a movie based on a poster? I'm intrigued. What else you got?
Now,
You know,
there is a
talk to me.
third point that you forgot, Charlie.
Sure. What else?
This
What'd I
gave
miss?
us the 80s villain classic that we talk about on a daily basis, Jared-Syn.
We always talk about it on daily
We
basis.
always talk about Jared-Syn. I mean, there's
never a
not a
day-
moment where he's not getting brought up because of this movie.
I
and the
forgot about
impact.
that.
Sometimes when
So-
you're like driving down the road and you're like, open the way. And then-
Every time I look at a mountain, I just want to, like, jerk the steering wheel to the right. That way I can recreate that iconic moment from Metalstorm.
You know what, Nate? You're right. He gets a 6. So,
He's not
anyway,
wrong. Nate is totally right.
Thank you, Jared-Syn.
thank you.
Does that adjust your
Jared-Syn.
your rating, Nate?
No, it does
Yeah.
not.
No, it's
Still a 2.
Still one, right?
It was a 0. That Jared-Syn made it a 2. All right. I don't even know if I want Nate to do this next bit. I think he should have done
don't
the
worry.
best
I got a
review
good
he
bit
could
here.
find.
We
Do
got
I-
time.
Do I play the drop?
Yep.
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring. And then I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash can and I smash the guy on the head.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster.
So, as per usual, when I find something that I disagree with, that's the one I go with. So, this one gets an 8 out of 10 from Curatin Keen, who said Metalstorm holds hidden reality.
So you selected a review that was opposite of yours.
Yeah,
You
because
thought Metalstorm sucked, so you chose a review where Metalstorm was great. I love this so much.
And it's still a trash opinion according to Nate.
yes,
It's so
these
damn
are what
meta.
I feel
It's
is a trash
amazing.
opinion. So this says,
Is that what
don't
the kids
know
are
why.
saying now, meta? Did I use that right? I don't know what's going on. I'm over it. I don't know.
Don't know why, but in the 80s, I watched this film around 17 times. And when in Hollywood, went to the Band Brothers' office to tell them they had made a cult masterpiece. They seemed really surprised that anyone liked it. After watching it several times, which you feel compelled to do for some strange reason, you start to get sucked into believing that somehow the film contains some kind of secret. The problem is that I think I need to watch it at least 17 more times to get the secret. But I could no longer find the film anywhere. Now I am an adult with kids, and they have carefully explained to me that I know nothing about films or hidden realities. So either I'm an idiot for having wasted so much time watching Metalstorm so many times, or my kids should be forced to watch it 17 times so they can reach the same level of knowledge as their mother.
I have a mighty need, gentlemen. I need to watch this movie 17 times.
You got 16 more times to go, my dude.
Maybe 15. You don't know. Technically, I have watched this before when I was younger, so 15 more times.
And then I need you to drive to the Band Brothers office and let them know they made a masterpiece.
I will. I am a seeker, and I shall seek
Can we
this
get
mission
Charles
out.
banned for RobCon next year? Is that a thing?
Probably. I'm pretty sure I can get him. He's
Pull
still
some
kicking.
like arms or something.
Just make
It can't be that hard. I bet I can
Han Solo
email
Mad
him.
Max costume. That's what you need.
Yeah,
I'll shave my
Yeah.
head for $500 if you get it.
I'll shave my head for free.
I'll
Yeah,
pay
what you're
you
talking about.
$5 to shave your head.
With
you
that
can
He'll
experience
pay you
what I
5
experience
doll
every day.
hairs.
The shunning.
All right.
The,
I'll
the
take the
looks,
$500
side
off the
eyes
table.
that I get every day.
If Charles Band arrives, but I am like it's going further and further back, so this could be the last time these locks ever occur.
Hold on to your locks. It's not going back that far.
Nate just has to pad every episode he doesn't have faith in. I don't understand.
Your hair is beautiful. Shut the heck up.
Thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. Unlike our other special guest.
Troy's awful special. How you doing, Troy?
Feeling special.
You're awful quiet.
He's the special of specialists.
I'm almost dead, guys.
He's drawing.
No, I'm actually looking up Charles Band films because I was
Bring
like,
it.
wait.
Oh, are you
No,
gonna
I
look
was-
up how
now
much
I'm
it
like,
would
oh,
cost
it's
to
the
get
Evil
Charles
Bong
Band?
guy.
Does Charles Band have any shark attack movies?
That's a good question. I'm surprised he wouldn't have jumped
Just
in
for
on that.
just for giggles. I mean, I don't know.
I think
We're
he
padding
has
out the
like,
episode.
is it like 400?
We don't need to pad out the
some-
episode. It's all of almost.
It's
2
about
hours
Charles Band.
Oh, he
not
did
on
Robot
Jim
Jocks. I didn't know he did Robot Jocks.
now. Ew, Dave wants to do Robot Jocks, and I'm like,
He did.
He did
Robot
Dungeon
Jocks.
Master.
Dungeon Master is also like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max
Do I know
ripoff.
Dungeon Master? I think I know.
He did Arena. He did crap. There's a dude like him and what's the guy's name that did From Beyond? The
Stuart
one
Gordon?
Stuart Gordon that also worked for that same production company. Yeah, there's
He's
a lot
done
we
like
wouldn't have had.
all the
It's
Evil Bong movies.
Yeah.
And the Puppet Master, and the Puppet Master meets Evil Bong.
Oh, that cat.
Demonic Toys, Toy Man versus the Demonic Toys.
Doll Man.
He did that Head of the Family movie that you just watched, Pete, by yourself.
Yep.
That movie was stupid. I kind of loved it.
Yeah, Gary Busey
mean,
is a gingerbread
Head
man.
of the Family was a solid 4, much like this movie was. Ooh,
Out of 5. That's a pretty good score. Pete. Good job.
it's 4 out of 10 is what it was. It was
All right,
terrible.
we're done padding this thing. If
All right,
anyone
all right,
made it to the end of
let's-
this
let's,
episode, I am going to be shocked.
Let's. There was a lot of padding in there.
I
Let's
know we lost every Metalstorm fan, and I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm sorry to all 17 of you.
Let's just start over with the
I have
ending of this,
absolutely
of this
no
episode.
idea what's going on.
So anyway, all right, we're done. We rated it. If you're curious and you've never seen it, but you appreciate like B movies, watch it. It's a short movie. It's an hour and 20 something. It's like 80 some minutes. It's not
No,
4
that's-
hours,
It
unlike
feels
some
like
people
it's
think.
That's not.
it was.
Yeah,
It
it's not.
definitely
it's not a good time.
feels like a snail pace crawl.
Not a good. I will say that if you have friends like Nate and Troy, you totally need to watch this movie with them.
Well, I'm saying if you watch these type of movies, that takes a certain type of fan. If you like the Oz exploitation things or the Italian knockoff Mad Max type movies or action movies, this is one that you should. There's a reason Shout Factory released this. There was a demand for it.
No, there's not.
There
good
was a
reason for
fan
that.
base.
This is this
Yes,
is a
it
bad.
is.
This is a bad reason for them to.
In 3D.
No one wants to see this in 3D.
I do. You can't say that. I want to see this in 3D. One of those 15 rewatches is going to be in 3D. I promise you that.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I
This
believe
just
you.
I'll start tonight. Wait, I got to watch Battle Beyond the Stars. Anyway, are we done? Are we done?
I think
Can
we're
Can I
done.
get us out?
I think we did it.
I think Nate fully checked out this episode. I don't know.
I'm not. No, I brought my A game today.
Nate brought his A game.
brought your.
We need more. We always
Okay.
need more Troy.
Always need more Troy.
Troy, did you? Is there anything on your notes we omitted? You did a lot
No,
of
we
note
got
taking.
through my notes. They're just all
of
the
it.
hell. There's a lot of things that I'm not allowed to say on this podcast. In my notes.
I appreciate that. I appreciate your discretion.
I say we let Troy pick the next action movie.
I have zero problem with that.
Yeah.
0. I let Pete pick this one just to be on the record. Don't
Clearly.
forget, I have
Look what happened.
receipts.
Let the record show.
Let the record show that one Mr. Pete L. Quint Esquire. I have no idea. but it
L
sounded good.
is close, but not correct. Anyway,
It's it's close, but not correct. I don't think it works that way.
well,
Pete. It's
you were
wrong.
in the alphabet, so you were close.
I had 26 chances. I guess
Yeah,
it's
well,
fine. Nate, quit
You're
counting.
no less
There's
than
26
24 letters away.
Nate's counting right now. Are there 26 letters in the alphabet?
I think there might be.
Dude, with the song.
Hey,
all
let's
right,
wrap this
everybody.
up.
Well, thanks for listening to our. Thanks, Pete. I'm on it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our Metalstorm episode. Probably going to go down in the books as one of our greatest ever. I see no fault in this episode whatsoever.
A great episode and a terrible
Please
movie. Holy moly.
It's fantastic. So with our two best guests here, why don't one of you tell us about Good Beer Bad Movie Night? Give us a live read of Good Beer Bad Movie Night. They're pointing at one another.
Good Beer, Bad Movie Night is a celebration of the mediocre movies that Hollywood puts out that are better when paired with a frosty adult beverage. We watch those movies that you don't really want to watch. You probably shouldn't watch. We do that for you. Pair it with beer and try to make it entertaining.
This movie's a 6 beer rating.
Did Pete hijack my show then? Is that what you're telling me? Because we're all drinking. It was not a good movie.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Did we not have a good time? I think we had a good time. And
I had a
that's what
blast,
Good Beer
guys.
Bad
I don't
Movie
know
Night
what
is
you got.
all about.
This just
good.
happens
It's
when
all
Pete's
good
around.
And as most of you know, Good Beer Bad Movie Night is one of many shows on the Give Me Back My Podcast network. Please make sure you go and check out all the other ones with Monster Movie Stomp Down, Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, I Know You Hear Me, which now includes Tales from the Haunt, and you get the horror show on this channel, so you're already listening. You know where it's at. Follow us on all of our social medias with Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. If you're not following us, why not? If you are following us, why aren't you listening? So we're just going to put that out there into the ether. Nate, anything else that I'm forgetting? Do we need to add anything?
Nope. I think that would be everything that could ever be covered when it comes to the destruction of Jared-Syn. What's the good word, Charlie?
The two of you took this? He took it. Then he lives. You do not.
Pete and Troy, you may join in on the second sentence if you would like. What the hell is going on? We will never know!
I forgot all about that.
We will never know!
We'll never know!
We'll never know!
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.